Okay, so we are here again to complete this model. Oh, sorry, I already completed this model. Now it's time for the weapons. So let's have a good look at the weapons so far. Oh, sorry, at the weapons we are going to make. So one is this bow, and then the arrow. We just need to make one single arrow, and then we'll just duplicate them. And the quiver. So these three things we need to make. As per my opinion, I don't think we need to make this in ZBrush and then again bring it in Maya to do the retopology. It's pretty simple design. We can directly make it in Maya. We can just make out of this, we can make a path for this bow and just use one single shape or a curve to extrude it along the path. Here at the end we can have spheres, and then we'll just we'll just stitch them. Also, there is a lot of symmetry here. So one symmetry will be along the x-axis, because the front and back look same, and along these two. So I think it will be mirroring across x and z both. So we just need to make this part, and rest of the bow will be complete. So we won't put much effort in making it in ZBrush and then bringing it in Maya and Retopology and all. Arrow also, it's pretty simple job. We can make it in Maya within some 10-15 minutes. And quiver as well. It's mostly a cylindrical in shape. So I think directly Maya will do. So we'll close ZBrush and we'll open Maya. Okay, so we are in Maya 17 now, and one good thing with this version is I can have vector paths directly imported in Maya. So we'll open Illustrator side by side, and we'll draw all the paths or shapes in Illustrator, and then we'll bring them in Maya. It's very simple job. Okay, so first of all we need a diamond shape for our cut section. So this will do. Then we need shape of the bow. So we'll start from here, draw it over here, and what we have to do now is Control C and scale it down this much. So Control C, this path, go into Maya 17. Here go to create and insert SVG. Then you can go into SVG1 and paste. So it just pasted this path from Illustrator to here. Also, one more thing, I just realized that we probably needed few more anchor points over here. So let's increase the curve resolution to 8 and 9 and 10. Let's keep it maximum. We want it to be as smooth as possible, and then create curve from SVG. So deleting this, we don't need it anymore. For this one, we have to go into open and close curves. So yeah, F8 just to edit any nodes, but we don't need them. So shift right click, open and close curve. I think this is better. Okay, so we have open curve now. Now what we need is a diamond shape so that we can just extrude it along the path. Alright, so copy this, and we should have kept this SVG1 thing, because we could have just pasted it over there right now, but no issues. Just go to create SVG, and this time we'll again paste it from the clipboard. Create curve from SVG mesh. Alright, and here we have our diamond. Just delete this, scale it down, and modify center pivot. Okay, so pivot is at the center. Good job. What should be the width of this? Sorry, size should be this much. Okay, now it's time for us to extrude this diamond along the path. So let's see how we can do it. Okay, so I rotated this shape and to 90 degree, and made center pivot for both the surfaces. Let's make this center pivot as well. Modify center pivot, and then we'll select this and these two, and we'll say modify freeze transform. Okay, just to zero out these values. It's not really required, but just I'm doing it. And now we'll select the shape and then the path. Go to surfaces, sorry, and we'll say extrude. Go to reset settings. In the extrude, we can just directly click extrude, and it will show something like this. It's time for us to correct this thing. Instead of tube, we can go to flat and say closest endpoint to the path. Okay, this is fixed path, so fixed path is on. Alright, so we have our basic shape ready. Now it's time for us to modify this. I'll just keep it like this, it looks much better. So this thing is a surface right now. Now we need to convert this thing into polygons to edit it like polygon. Otherwise, when you when you right click on this, you can see isopalm, control vertices and all. So literally this is a surface right now. You can edit it, but I prefer working on polygons rather than on surfaces. So to convert it into polygons, you just have to select it, go to modify, convert, and nerves to polygons, or nerves to polygons. So we got something like this. Now there are lots and lots of triangles. That can be a problem. So let's look into the settings. So we are turning on quads instead of triangles. We don't need triangles at all, and apply. So yeah, this time we got some we got rid of triangles, but we have like unnecessary number of polygons here. So we'll just clean it up, close, and I think we have two surfaces here. This is surface and this is polygon. So we'll delete this one and we'll just keep this thing. Or instead of deleting it, we can just hide it for now. Control H to hide it, and we'll keep it in front to edit this one. Alright, let's go. So edit, delete all but type history again, so that this mesh doesn't have any existing connection with any of the surfaces, and shift right click, soften hard edge, soft edges. Okay, so let's go clean this up. I think we don't need these curves anymore, so we'll get rid of them. Also any extra geometry which we are hiding in the outliner, so we'll delete everything instead of this nurse poly. So Control Shift A and Control Shift A will deselect this nurse poly, select this extrude surface and delete everything, so that we just have this one single mesh. Okay, now it's time for us to put a sphere at the end. So we'll go to polygons, and it probably created sphere already. We'll scale it up to this much. This has to be at the center, so this one also has to be at the center here somewhere. I don't know, it's not at the center. Oh. So modify center pivot first, and we'll keep both these things at the center. This one as well. Oh. So X and snap. So let's move it up. We really don't want to have these many edges in the sphere, so we'll reduce it to 8, I guess. Eight looks fine for the circular one, but along this axis it should be 5. Wrong axis, sorry. 6 or maybe 4. 4 looks good. Keep it something like this so that it follows the angle of the arc of this arc. I think it should be this much. Rotation should be 0. If rotation is 0, I think it will, yeah, then it will follow. Okay, now we need to bridge this. So we have like 4 corners here, but only 3 corners here. So we need to find out a way how to bridge this thing. What we can do here is F11, and we'll delete these 2 polygons, and F8. First of all, we'll combine these 2 objects. So go to mesh and combine, and then F10. So we'll select this and double click and select this, and shift right click, bridge. So here it is, done. Now let's adjust these edges a bit, but before that we want to turn this whole geometry into smooth shaded. Okay, now let's adjust it from the side. Yeah, here we have the bow. It looks little bit different from what we have here now. So in original design, so we have to modify this to make it look exactly like we have here. I think the length is a problem here. This will look right. So a cylinder, then we have this a box which we can convert it into an arrow, and then two more boxes here. We won't go into much detail here because we are going to paint all these details. So making arrow will be pretty easy job. Let's go. And also let's merge this thing first, mesh and combine, and we'll put it aside over here, or we'll just create a new layer with this, say bow, and hide it. Now we can work on our arrow peacefully. next part will be the quiver, but for that we need to we need the original body of Arjun or of our character, because we need to fit the quiver comes along with the belt, so we need to fit the belt on the armor, and then we'll make the quiver, and then put all these small arrows inside it, and finally the bow in his hand.